PSA Reloaded, man. It's your boy 3-Letter Man. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, right there in the description where to follow your boy at. Hit the like button. I appreciate that. Also, y'all see the title of this particular blog, man. Let's talk about it. Protecting the black woman. As a black man, I hear that. I embrace that. Anytime I could protect a black woman, I'm gonna do it. You know, a lot of times black women would say, you know, a lot of brothers, we don't stand behind the black woman and everything like that. And I do agree with that in certain instances, right? But we never talk about the black woman protecting the black man. We kind of brush that away, I guess, because we're the man, I guess, and we're supposed to always be on our 10 toes, and we're the man, done died and all that. But sometimes we do need our sisters to protect the black man, especially when you working in big corporations and millions of viewers are watching an exchange between a black woman and a black man, especially if the black woman is using an undertone where she's trying to, I don't know, make the black man look like he's a monogamous or sexist against women in general. And I gotta say, I don't like, well, let me just go ahead. We all know what we heard about the Boston Celtics, Ime Udoka, the head coach from the Celtics, being fired for a year for having consensual intimacy with the woman at the job place. Is that a fireable offense for me? No. I mean, dogs, have I smashed a woman I worked with? Neither hand on there. Stay focused. 3. Got that water. 3 in fact, man. We got that one. So I got that one. Oh, water's over. Nah, but for real. I guess when you work at, you know, that's the guidelines, that's human resources. I don't know, they give you a pamphlet and we got to sign it. As a head coach, you can't do X, Y, and Z. I know it doesn't look good through the business of the Boston Celtics and stuff. I personally don't like how the Celtics handle this. I felt it could have been dealt with maybe more in-house than where the masses had to hear about this. I don't see why we all have to hear about this. Right? Now, we know Stephen A. Smith from First Take was on this story, of course. And since it dropped, I think Stephen A. has been very much consistent across the board on how he feels about this situation. Now we all watch Stephen A. Smith for years, right? He's always talking about his sisters and everything, Sister Carmen, his sister this, how Abigail, and how his 4 sisters and everything like that. And when I hear that tells me most of the time when your brothers have a lot of women in their family, they're not really the chauvinistic type. They understand the plights and the situations that women go through on a daily basis. We hear certain conversations to the point we're kind of sensitive to certain things that women deal with because we have women in our family that deep, but that's a different story for a different day. But I felt Stephen A. Smith, he said Udoka, he can't defend what the coach did. I think he's been on that stance for the last couple of days. He's nailed that point to the ground, right? He even said a firing is warranted. No, not a firing, he said. Not banning him, not suspending him for a year or suspending the coach for a year, but then have to revisit and see where we're at right now and then bring him back to the fold. Why not? If you're going to fire him, just fire him. And that's the stance that I've heard Stephen A's been on, Shannon Sharp, and a multitude of other people that talk about sports on a daily basis, right? He even said Udoka, and I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith, he said Udoka ruined his career and the Celtics ruined him. He's played both sides. Now, here's where it gets dicey and kind of ugly for me. If you follow me on Twitter, y'all know how much I make jokes and flirt with Malika Andrews. I think she's a beautiful sister over at ESPN, right? And for the most part, we were all happy for her when she took over for Rachel Nichols and everything, right? We all wrote with her and everything like that, right? She assisted and everything like that. She knows her sport. She's from the Bay Area, I believe. Now, when Malika Andrews, who took over, like I said, for Rachel Nichols, the conversation got weird, right? And let's be honest, for the most part, if you put Stephen A. and Malika Andrews, more than likely the people are gonna pile on Stephen A. Smith if there's a intense debate between the two, right? Because Stephen A. Smith is easy to pile on, whether he's right or wrong. But I've always said this about Stephen A. Smith, sidebar, that I thought that brother has a tough job. And when I say that, bro, you work for ESPN. You're dealing with a bunch of white people in that building who probably don't like all the power that Stephen A. Smith has as a black man in that building. Right? Then you got to deal with black folks who call this man a coon. He sells out for the white people. He gets it on both sides. He get it from the white people. I look at him, still call him an N-word when he walks by. And then you got your own people coming at you. We don't talk about that enough, though, right? Pertaining about Stephen A. Smith. Now, like I said, it's easy to pile on Stephen A. Smith because sometimes he says some things and you scratch your head like, all right, bro, what are you talking about right now? Right? But I don't think he did anything wrong when Malika Andrews came on. Let me say it again, I do not think Stephen A. Smith did anything wrong to Malika Andrews. Okay? At all. And what I don't like, Malika Andrews, what you're making this out to be when you came on the conversation on First Take, you're making this man versus woman, and it should not be man versus woman. I don't like light skin versus dark skin conversations, and I don't like man versus woman conversations because that's a no-win conversation, right? That's a nonsensical conversation, in my opinion, right? Now, here's also what I'm bugged about, Malika Andrews. You seem to have this energy that I don't see other women are having on the show. Molly's on the show with Stephen A. Smith, and we all know if Molly's going to speak her mind for the most part or make a comment and not hold in when it comes to women's rights, we've seen her on that stance. Whatever you want to say about Molly, I've seen her stand up for women if she feels men on a panel are not being fair or she want to. I think she would have said something. So my thing is this: if Molly's sitting there, the moderator of the show, listening to Stephen A. Smith, who's been consistent the whole time how he feels about that, she's not catching feelings, but you're catching feelings. Make it make sense. I feel like I'm Meldo Russo right now doing this. Make it make sense. Respectfully, Malika Andrews, you get out your feelings, sister. Respectfully, I gotta come at you like, get out your feelings, sister. Get out your feelings. You come on First Take and it hit Stephen A. Smith. This is not about pointing the finger. Stop it. Who is pointing fingers? The general public, when you come on, we're looking at you like, what are you talking about? You just killed the whole mood. Nobody was even doing that. That's why you notice, Malika, a lot of people coming at you like, sister, what are you on? What are you on? Your energy was terrible, sister, respectfully. It was terrible. How long were you on hold before you heard the whole thing Stephen A. Smith was talking about before they patched you in? How long were you on hold for? And I'm glad, respectfully, I'm kind of glad Stephen A. Smith put you in your place. I'm respectfully, sister, queen. Because what you did was try to throw Stephen A. Smith under the bus and try to make him look funny in the light to the general public and to women. And that's not cool when you do that, Malika. Because then what you have now is women coming at Stephen A. Smith sideways because you're a woman on a platform doing that. And once again, you're standing on an island when it's you and Molly, two women with Stephen A. Smith talking about this. And one of you are mad. And I can get into when you and Kendrick Perkins, I'll get into that in a minute. Shanae, the same thing with Shanae. Shanae wasn't mad, have energy. You had bad energy again. But we'll get into that in a second also. And respectfully, women, I know want to ride with each other. But when you do that, you also got to take responsibility when you're riding for a woman. Malika, you got to be fair, sister. There were two people who decided to have consensual sex, Malika Andrews. It wasn't one-sided, love. Two of them. And then Malika, respectfully, sister, also, I thought that was extra corny when you hit Stephen A with the, we are not Stephen A to further blame women. This is not why we are here. Like, what's up with the emphasis? We are not. Like, what's up with all that? Sister Soldier? What was all that? Why that tone? Because I don't look at you sideways too. And credit to Stephen A. Smith. I thought he would have interjected early. He let you get your ish off. Because me, I would have G-checked you right there, sister, respectfully. I would have checked you right there. And Malik, I'm sorry. I got to do this. Archie Bunker Award. That was terrible. You look kind of foolish, sister, respectfully. You look kind of foolish. You sat there saying, this is not about pointing fingers. But in the same breath, you said people are pointing fingers at women. Is it black girl lost or shorty owe you for ice? You were Cassidy delusional to me. Miss Andrews, respectfully. And once again, I understand you try to protect the woman from the public scrutiny. I get all that. And why are people acting like Udoka killed someone? Why are they acting like this man committed a murder? Yes, he violated company policies. But does the punishment fit the crime? Really? I mean, this is a red W for Stephen A. Smith. And I don't mean the West Coast either. This is a real big W for Stephen A. Smith. He rarely get these where the consensus is riding with him. Then, let me not even go there before I go there. Then Jeannie Buss and Phil Jackson have relations and all that, and they were under the same company. Well, okay, fine. I guess she's the boss, man. I don't know, whatever. Then on NBA Today, you would think Malika Andrews, but hell, before I go there, I didn't even like the fact the way you hung up the phone when Molly was trying to save you a little bit from looking kind of crazy, and the way you hung up the phone, you ain't even say they try to give you pleasantries out the door, and you hung up on them. You and your feelings? Get out your feelings, sister. And then you still brought that kind of energy to the set of NBA Today. Kendrick Perkins, who played for the Celtics, who are close to the Celtics, when the Celtics were in the NBA Finals, it was him, Brian Scalabrine, Eddie House, and these guys doing post-game shows. So when Stephen A. Smith and Matt Barnes and Kendrick Perkins is coming out talking about, yo, dogs, you see Matt Barnes came out with a statement saying, yo, he got more information and he had to delete his post. Writing for you because there's more stuff that we don't know. And I don't understand what Perk did that was so bad that you was in your feelings once again, Miss Andrews. Relax, love. Chill out. Why are you so emotional about this situation? I don't understand that. And once again, Sinead was sitting on the set with you, but you the one looking angry. Your facial expressions, you got to work on that, boo. You on TV. You can't let the world know you so peed off that cool. We see it through the screen. When the same thing with Matt Barnes and you had a Kobe conversation with LeBron, you looked salty about that. You and Richard Jefferson had a conversation. You look, sweetheart, you got to match that. You got to match that, boo. You straight up shut down Perk when he was talking. So I don't know, man. Y'all leave comments on the bottom. Tell me what y'all feel, man. It's your boy 3, man. 1.